Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Mutiat Olagoke, aka the Queen of Awesomeness, and you are watching Mustaeina TV. Don't touch the dial. If you change it like this, your remote will blow. Don't touch it. Bye.
In the globalized, knowledge-based world of today, students around the world need advanced skills to succeed, which is why at the REHLA Academy, we offer value-based, high-quality education that adopts a holistic approach to child development with a design that emphasizes the development of total person. The curriculum we adopt at TRE is a blend of Tarbiyah, which is Islamic education, British curriculum, and a blend of Nigerian curriculum. Our Islamic program is a robust one that focuses on Tahfiz program, which is Qur'an memorization, Hadith. Also, it focuses on the three aspects of Arabiya, which is speaking, writing, and also reading, as well as listening skills. While for the secular education, we adopt British curriculum, which covers 99% of what we do, while we pick for some specific subjects the best of what is obtainable from around the world. We operate in a serene environment with world-class facilities in all our classrooms that will not only inspire imagination in the students, but to also instill the love of learning in them. Also, we have a very good quality teachers that are able to ensure that a positive culture is developed within the classroom that will make the students to be able to express themselves, and this will instill in them a positive self-esteem and their confidence enough to be able to express themselves and express their needs to their world. While also for the ICT program, we make use of IC3, which is a Microsoft curriculum designed for elementary schools for ICT, which will make a student to be able to practicalize whatever they learn. Also, we offer wide ranges of enrichment program. Enrichment program at TRE, they are program designed to enrich the students' learning, and we adopt a problem-based approach to STEM education, during which students learn a variety of subjects, ranging from STEM, coding with Scratch programming, which was designed by MIT Lab, and also they learn other skills too. And also we have a proposed innovation center for the REHLA Academy that will enable the students to develop wide ranges of skills that are termed as 21st century skills. When you bring your kids to us at TRE, we're going to nurture your kids for growth, and we're going to prepare them for the future at large. Thank you.
تبارك الذي جعل في السماء بروجا وجعل فيها سراجا وقمرا منيرا وهو الذي جعل الليل والنهار
مستعينا. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. لقد كان لكم في رسول الله أسوة حسنة لمن كان يرجو الله واليوم الآخر وذكر الله كثيرا ولما رأى المؤمنون الأحزاب قالوا هذا ما وعدنا الله ورسوله وصدق الله ورسوله وما زادهم إلا إيمانا وتسليما من المؤمنين رجال صدقوا ما عاهدوا الله عليه فمنهم من قضى نحبه ومنهم من ينتظر وما بدلوا تبديلا ليجزي الله الصادقين بصدقهم ويعذب المنافقين إن شاء أو يتوب عليهم إن الله كان غفورا رحيما ورد الله الذين كفروا بغيظهم لم ينالوا خيرا وكفى الله المؤمنين القتال وكان الله قويا عزيزا.
Years ago, my page started out as just another regular Instagram page. But shortly after, my family lost an important member at a very young age due to late access to funds and professional care to a disease that was very much curable. That was the beginning of all that Nimah Andre stands for today. For over 3 years, I have grown an audience that has now been converted into consistent donors and promoters of random acts of kindnesses, you included. In fact, let me quickly bust your brain. You and I, we have helped 85 beneficiaries, including pregnant and new moms. Yes, I'm counting actually. And we've raised well over 20 million naira. Today, this baby girl is taking things up a notch, as I am proud to announce the Nimah Andre Foundation, a fundraising organization for medical emergencies, maternal and child care needs. Why? Because we believe everyone should have access to quality health care, irrespective of their financial circumstances. Now, over the next 5 years, we intend to reach 1,000 beneficiaries, and I want you to continue to be part of our journey, part of our story, by joining our growing community of consistent donors and helping us change lives one person at a time. You know, when people talk about finding their calling, this is it for me. Helping people like this, connecting with people like this is my calling. So let's do this.
Mustaeina.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Babatunde Adegbindin from Lotus Capital Limited. Today we want to talk about Murabaha. Murabaha is one of the structures we use in Islamic finance. Now, there is a very similar relationship between Murabaha and Mudaraba. Where Mudaraba talks about the relationship between the partners, Murabaha talks about the transaction. So I want to use an example to explain what a Murabaha transaction is. But before I do that, Murabaha is an Arabic name for cost plus. Cost plus. So a lot of us know a lot of our mothers or women that go to My 12 to buy pepper in large sums, basket. But they buy this pepper and they bring it to our neighborhood, and they have their stalls, and they have those small pellets that they put the pepper on, and they sell it to we, the final consumers. Now, there is a transaction or a process of Murabaha that has gone through from Mile 2 to the neighborhood. Now, Mama goes to Mile 2, buys a basket at 5,000 naira, a whole basket. But when she's coming home, she's going to take transport. She's going to pay the carrier, which the Yoruba people call alabaru, to carry it from one point to the other. And when she gets home, she's going to pay the carpenter that will construct the stall. And she's also going to pay that person that gives the pellets that she's going to put the tomatoes on. Now, she has to calculate all of these expenses, the transport, the carpenter, the carrier, the pellet. She has to calculate all of this before she can determine how much she will sell the pepper to you or the tomatoes to you, the final consumer. And that's why you see when you want to buy things, you hear people say, oh, things have gone up. The price of this have gone up. So that is why it's affecting this, because it's a chain. It's a chain reaction. So if she's buying a basket at 5,000, she has to add all the other expenses to that 5,000, then divide it by the number of pellets she's going to sell. And that gives her an idea of how much she has to sell for her to earn a profit. So for example, if she gets 10 pellets from a 5,000 naira basket, that means each one should go for 500 naira. By the time she adds the expenses, that's about, let's say, 200 naira per pellet. So that means she now has to sell 700 naira. But she bought at 500 naira. So that extra 200 comes in as a profit. But if she takes it a step further to say, okay, that 200 is just representing the expenses, what will come to me when I take away the expenses? So she adds an extra 50 naira. And you go there, you say, you want to buy this. And she says it's 800 naira. She knows she's going to sell finally for 750. But she starts with 800 to give room for negotiation. So you say, oh, 700, oh, 650. And at the end of the day, you agree at 750. To her, she has made a profit of 50 naira. And to you, you have bought at a negotiated price. So what has happened there is a Murabaha where she has gone to buy at the cost price, she has added her expenses, and she has arrived at the selling price. Remember in school, when they tell us that gain is selling price minus cost price, that gives us profit or gain. And that's what we are talking about here. When you're talking of Murabaha, is majorly the selling price minus your cost price, and that gives us your gain. So when you have that gain or the expense amount, you can add it to what you want to sell to be able to arrive at a selling price for the consumer. Now let's take this into a transaction. So as an investor, you want to come into an investment, and they say it's a Murabaha investment. What that simply means is that whatever money you are bringing in, it is being used to finance a transaction that we know the cost price and we know the selling price. So we already can ascertain the gain, because selling price minus cost price will give us the gain. And it's always a trade transaction. So your money is pooled together in a pool with other investors. We use it to buy, for example, let's say fast-moving consumer goods. We buy it at cost price, and you have an off-taker that you're selling it to as a selling price. By the time you sell and the off-taker pays, there is a profit margin. That profit margin is shared between you and that person that has facilitated that transaction. And this, in brief, is what the Murabaha is about. Cost plus. That is, cost plus your cost price to give your selling price and arrive at the profit. I pray that this is better understood than explained. May Allah make it easy, grant our request, accept our dua, and make this a wonderful Ramadan for us. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Mustaeina.
Hi everyone, my name is Babatunde. I'm the creative director of Articraft Cakes and More. You're welcome to our online baking course, where you'll be learning to bake different types and flavors of cake. I believe you have the best learning experience, as I will be showing you different tips and tricks to achieve the best cake science and art. See you in class.
Finally, how to maximize productivity in and out of the house as a woman. Number 9, pray. Pray. Of course, did you think that I was going to put Allah out of this? No. Pray. There is nothing that you can achieve without Allah. And so one of the tips that I have used in the last 10 years is to rely solely on Allah. In fact, this year, I decided to start everything that I'm doing and in between, and when I'm done with la hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. So I've learned that one of the tips to really help you maximize your productivity is to pray. Pray to Allah about it. Start everything with prayer. This is not just saying, you know, how we all start everything with Bismillah mindlessly. You must be mindful of committing every action to Allah, letting Him know that you have no power but the one that He decrees for you. And that's something that's been helping me. Even the things that I'm good at. Let me give you an example. I didn't think that prayer was important. Well, not like the way that I connect with it like now. Before, because I'm so good at speaking, for instance, it's something I take for granted. Like, why do I need the prayer of Musa before any public speaking? I mean, public speaking is easy for me. However, one night, I went to bed with my beautiful voice, sounding well, ready to wow my audience the next day. Then I woke up the next day with the biggest sore throat I've ever had in my life. And my voice sounded like a frog's. And I sat down in bed wondering, what happened? What happened? What happened? Then I realized that this was Allah trying to teach me that everything belongs to Him. All the things that are easy for us, or all the things that are hard for us, they are because Allah decrees them. So as a woman, you must commit every action, every thought, every gift, every favor, every job, and every talent to Allah. So before I wash plates, or if I decided that, oh, I'm going to clean the kitchen, I actually pray about it. May Allah ease it for me. Every time I make a plan on my to-do list or my schedule, I always end it with, may Allah ease it for me. And when I'm about to start, I start with Bismillah, of course. And then I say, La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. Why? Because I have learned that it is not enough to have the strength. Because if Allah doesn't permit you to use them, you cannot use them. Have you ever had a day where you are certain and you are sure that today I'm going to make the best of it? And then life throws a wrench at all your plans from nowhere. And then have you ever had a day where you are confused and you don't know what will happen? And then from nowhere the help of Allah comes? Yeah. Those are all signs for us to understand that no matter how productive we think we are, no matter how not a procrastinator you think you are, no matter how tight your schedule is, no matter how you've mastered your time, if Allah doesn't permit it, it will not be possible. So tip number 9 is to start everything with prayers. Prayers in submission, prayers in humility to Allah for His help, because nothing, and I repeat, nothing is possible without His decree. And I pray that Allah rectify our affairs and He eases all that we are working on for us. And for the things that are difficult for us, I pray that Allah makes them easy and grant us the best of this life and the akhirah. It's been an amazing time sharing all of these tips with you, and I hope that you have found them useful and that they be useful for you in this life and the akhirah. JazaakumuLohu khayran for your audience. Do have an amazing time. Until next time, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Mustaeina.
It can either be by hugging, by kissing, by having, that night time with each other and appreciating it to the fullest. Number 2, thubutu hurumatil musahara, establishing the sacredness of our coming together as a family. You must confirm. You want to get married to somebody, she has the right to go and confirm whether we are not related, and he has the right to find out if you are not related. هو الذي خلق من الماء بشرا. Allah says He's the one who has created man from water. وجعله نسبا وصهرا, and He has made them nasaban, families, وصهرا, and in-laws to each other. وكان ربك قديرا, and your Lord is able. So we are linked as human beings, according to this ayah of the Qur'an, in 2 ways, either by blood or by in-law, being in-law to each other, by marriage. So it is your right to know that, is this person marriageable? Either of the two of them can find out. It is their right. Number 3, thubutu nasab. We should be able to confirm if we are not the same blood. Perhaps you had not seen each other for a long time. You only traveled abroad. You came across each other and you became attractive to each other. Your right deserves that you find out. Hope is not my blood I'm marrying. We have had cases of this, a man marrying his own daughter out of error. He did not confirm the nasab. The last of all these points is thubutu tawarith baynahuma. They both have the right to inherit each other. The man can inherit his wife after her demise, and the wife can inherit the husband after his demise. They both share, but they both participate in this right. It is not limited to one side and not at the detriment of the other side. They have the right to, inherit each other, as long as they live together as at the point of death and they are both alive. The person that will inherit is alive at the death of the former, or vice versa. They just have to have the right to inherit each other. With this, we have concluded hukukun mushtarakatun bayna az-zawjayn, the shared rights between wives and husbands. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make our homes a happy home, and we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make every member of the family understand his own right and be able to execute it appropriately, and to know their duties and be able to, to understand their right and be able to accept it and know their duties and be able to render them accordingly, so that we can have the right, the reward from Allah here in this world and the hereafter. Wa sallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Mustaeina Muhammad. Learn with me and my friends on Mustaeina Kiddies. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Asma'ul Fawaki, names of fruit: Ananasu, pineapple; Tufau, apple; Jazarun, carrot; Bitikun, watermelon; Burtukot, orange; Mausun, banana; Basolon, onion; Kiarun, cucumber; Yusufiyun, tangerine; Rafatu, guava; Manju, mango; Inabun, grapes; Lemon, lemon; Kausun, cherry; Kumasro, pear; Tomato, tomato. Al-Muwassalat, means of transportation: Dawajatun, bicycle; Dawajatun Nawiya, motorcycle; Sayyaratun, car; Sayyaratun Is'af, ambulance; Hitalun, train; Safinatun, ship; Afilatun, bus; Tahiratun, plane; Awamatun, helicopter; Lawawatun, tractor; Shahiratun, lorry.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to another episode of Mustaeina on the Street. I'm Kauthar Adelupe.
I am Black Child. My name is Fuad, and this is Mustaeina on the Street.
And as you all know, we'll be going live on the street to ask people questions that are related to Islam. It's basically for Muslims and non-Muslims. Let's get to it.
Murabaha, who is your Lord? Rabbi Allah, Allah is my Lord. Alladhi khalaqani, who created me. Rabbani, and take care of me. Binyami, with his favor. Bi'aidi shay'in ta'rifu rabbaka. How do you know your Lord? Ta'rifu rabbi bi'alamati kasirat. I know my Lord with many signs. Many among resigns. Al-layl wa night and day. والشمس والقمر sun and moon. من خلق السماوات والأرض والشمس والقمر الله هو الذي خلق الأرض التي نمشي عليها. The one who created the earth, you walk on it.
Mustaeina TV, Mustaeina, can you feel it? Mustaeina, mashallah program, Mustaeina, all about Islam. Mustaeina, Mustaeina TV, Mustaeina, can you feel it? Mustaeina, we got your kids covered. Mustaeina, we soon